Hi, and welcome to the daily reading, which is upside down, from Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence by Sarah Young. So lovely little book that has some of my bookmarks in it. And we're doing daily readings from this book all year. So today's date is October 3rd. And we have, when many things seem to be going wrong, trust me. When your life feels increasingly out of control, thank me. These are supernatural responses, and they can lift you up above your circumstances. If you do what comes naturally in the face of difficulties, you may fall prey to negativism. Even a few complaints can set you on a path that is a downward spiral by darkening your perspective and mindset. With this attitude controlling you, complaints flow more and more readily from your mouth. Each one moves you steadily down the slippery spiral. The lower you go, the faster you slide. But it is still possible to apply brakes. Cry out to me in my name. Affirm your trust in me, regardless of how you feel. Thank me for everything, though this seems unnatural, even irrational. Gradually, you will begin to ascend, recovering your lost ground. When you are back on ground level, you can face your circumstances from a humble perspective. If you choose supernatural responses this time, trusting and thanking me, you will experience my unfathomable peace. And this reading today ties in with Psalm 13, verse 5, and Ephesians 5, verse 20. The downward spiral, have you been there? Yes, I have. And I'm quite lucky, actually, that I have my Bach flower remedies for the last 25 years. And there is a remedy called gentian, which I use when I find that I am on that downward spiral. Sometimes it takes a while for me to realize it. But when you have that thought, what next? What's going to happen next? What will happen next? In a negative frame of mind, then that's an indication that gentian will help you, because it's the Bach flower remedy for encouragement. It's the Bach flower remedy for people who are feeling discouraged, despondent because something has gone wrong. So I know that there's been a couple of times in my past that I have used it very successfully to stop that spiral, to nip it in the bud and just to come back to the surface again and be positive about the next thing is going to be good. It's not necessarily going to be bad. And I love the way that she's written that the lower you go, the faster you slide, because that's what it feels like. It just feels like more and more and more and more negative things happen when you're on that spiral slide. It's like, what's it called? A helter-skelter? That thing that you go down when you're a child and you just spin round and round and round, and you do get faster as you head towards the bottom. So it's a bit like that. So it does feel bizarre, almost irrational. My husband would say irrational, to thank Jesus for difficulties, to trust that the difficulties are there for a reason. And but all you can do is try it. And that's what I say to him when he calls me bonkers. It's like, well, try it. It might actually help, but he rarely does. But it is about that. Try it. So if you are finding yourself in a space where you're feeling very negative just now, start to say thank you for all the little things in your life, that the computer, that your ears that can hear, your eyes that can see, your mouth that can talk, your tongue that can swirl around your food and taste it. We've got so many things in our lives, even in the difficult circumstances, that we can switch our attention to, switch our focus to, which are positive, rather than focusing on the perhaps even dreadful that's going on for us in our lives. There is always even tiny little things that you can build your thank yous on and be grateful for. And you don't have to be a Christian to do this, but for me, it's thanking God, it's thanking Jesus, and feeling the peace that will come when I get back to that level balance again in my life if I've gone down that spiral. So just about changing your mindset, I think, this reading today, changing it from the negativism to the positivity of thankfulness and gratefulness and gratitude. Alrighty, 5 minutes is up. Namaste, love to you all. Bye now.